Manchester United v West Bromwich Albion then, 2-0 to Manchester United. I tell you what, I'm going to go and put a bet on Chelsea to lose because I predicted the starting 11. I know that wasn't, didn't need to be a predictor of the future for that. But I did say it'd be 2-0 or 3-0 to Manchester United. I also said at half-time, it was frustrating, but they didn't deserve to get booed. West Bromwich Albion park the bus like better than the National Express. So it was always going to take time. We kept going. I didn't think, we're going to do the player ratings in a minute as usual, and we can have your thoughts. But Ian Fitzgibbon says Mata was average, which I would agree with. Kate Lovin saying still boring. But having said all that, I thought Manchester United kept going. We're on a mountain here, at the bottom of the mountain. And when it comes to confidence, we were poor against Crystal Palace, boring football, bottom of the league in chances created. I don't know how many clear-cut chances we actually created today, but West Brom are under Tony Pulis. He's Viagra. He'll keep them up, and they are very, very good at defending and parking the bus. And they had pace on the break, which is why Chris Smalling, for me, was up there again for potential man of the match, because we snuffed them out, apart from that Berahino chance where he should have scored and it would have been 1-1. But a massively important game for Manchester United to win, to keep a clean sheet. 2-0 will do with that. And we're gradually going up the mountain. We're not going to play scintillating, attacking football within a week of that Crystal Palace and the Man City game before that. It's going to take time, but we're on our way up. We're definitely on our way up. And Rooney, again, without being absolutely fantastic, was better than Tuesday night. And he was on Tuesday night, he was better than he was against Palace. So he's gradually getting better. I'm pleased with that. Lynn Hall, Schweinsteiger had a good match today. Definitely thought he did do. Wouldn't argue with that. But let's start with the starting lineup. It was pretty much the same as the game in midweek against Moscow, wasn't it? Young played at right back because Valencia was out and Darmian suspended. Rojo left back. Blin played at centre back with Smalling. Lingard played, which I think was a real positive. The big positive for me, and I'm going to say it, let's crack straight into it, was that Fellaini was injured. Now, you should never hope that a player's going to be injured, but I tell you what, I think Louis van Gaal stumbled in his substitutions in the second half, because we were on our live comment box talking to everybody saying Carrick's legs are gone, Rooney's legs are gone, they need taking off. Not because they're playing bad, but they needed to be taken off because West Brom were coming into the game more and more. They've got players on the break, and that Berahino chance happened. And I actually think Louis van Gaal should have got Herrera and Schneiderlin on probably 5 minutes before that, because we were starting to lose the midfield battle. But I think he was a bit confused because he didn't have that normal plan B option of Fellaini to bring on. And I don't have a problem with Fellaini as an individual, but I think Manchester United were far better today, having to figure things out without that Fellaini option. We couldn't knock the ball long, and we couldn't bring him on at half-time or 60 minutes. We had to get by with what we had, and I much prefer the way we get by without Fellaini, because we had that break at the end with Martial that gets us the penalty that kills the game. We had much more tenacity. Lingard, for me, is my man of the match, and I thought we were absolutely superb. And just before I come to the player ratings, I just wanted to say, I thought Rooney did well. Martial, for me, I know a lot of people say he didn't have a very good game today. He has about 10 players on him as soon as he gets the ball, and he still excites, and that's what it's all about. It's excitement. And when Anthony Martial gets the ball, he excites you, and he's a threat. And I really do hope that the likes of Memphis can come back into this team, because it will give Martial more space. He is our main threat at the moment, and everybody doubles up on him like they did with Memphis at the start of the season. But I thought he had a good game today. His finishing lets him down. His finishing isn't fantastic, but that will get better. He's 19 years of age, and he's the one of the players with Lingard as well who gets you off your seat, and I thought he was fantastic. So really pleased with that. Him and Smalling or Lingard would be my man of the match. But Kate Loving says Rojo was awesome. You're going to love my player ratings then. And Ian Fitzgibbon says Schweinsteiger definitely in the conversation for man of the match. What about the young lad coming on when we were only 1-1 and under pressure? I think it means 1-0. I thought it was a very brave substitution. I was tempted to put on my tweet that it was a stupid or brave decision, but actually you've got to give Louis van Gaal the benefit of the doubt and back him when it comes to young players. And I thought it was a brave decision, and it worked out, because West Brom, it was 1-0. They were coming into the game. He's not afraid to chuck young players in. I mean, I really like Pereira, but he's not having a sniff at the moment. I know he's on the bench, but Lingard, if Pereira's obviously not doing it somewhere to be in the starting 11, but Lingard, without being amazing, he was my man of the match, but his final ball is sometimes a bit off. Definitely man of the match, but he deserves to be in the team. He's got to keep playing, and I'm really positive, and I really hope he doesn't pick up an injury, because I think he was really good. Let's go on to the player ratings, though, because this is going to be always the interesting part. I'm really pleased with the result, though. I mean, I don't think you can have any negatives today, and I really didn't think that I didn't think it was going to be fair. I'll move into shot. I didn't think it would have been fair if it had been 1-0 or 0-0 with 0-0, sorry, with 60 minutes going. All this attack and boo stuff. I think it's very different playing West Brom, who can park the bus and have a good go at us. But I was getting worried in the last 20 minutes. We needed him to make substitutions, which he did, to be fair. I mean, breaking news, Rooney did get substituted. He needed to come off. Nothing to do with a bad performance. As you can see, I gave him a 7 there. I think some people would argue and say give him a 6. But his legs were going. Carrick's legs were going as well. That's when you make substitutions against West Brom, because they finally weren't parking the bus and they came at us. And I'm just ecstatic that for once it wasn't 0-0. And Johnny, I mean, it would have been we would have known we were bad if Johnny Evans had got man of the match. And he actually had a good game, made a fantastic tackle on Jesse Lingard. But going through the team, De Gea had nothing to do, so you struggled to give him more than a 6 on his birthday. Ashley Young, awful at right back, really was bad. 5, worst game probably in the United shirt for a long time. But I think Ashley Young's threat is further up the pitch. He's filling in. So, I was tempted to give him a 6, but he didn't have a good game. So you've got to be honest. Rojo, I gave a 6. Thought it was an average performance. As I keep saying, 6 out of 10 is an average performance. It's not a bad performance. And, I thought Rojo did some good things and did some okay things. It was a 6 for me. Daley Blind, I think he always deserves a 7 in that centre-back position when he doesn't make a massive mistake. And that sounds really like I'm not going to go at him, but his ball distribution from the back's really good, and he didn't do anything wrong today. So 7. Smalling gets an 8 because his pocket must be getting really, really heavy, because he had Rondon in his pocket from the first 5 minutes and was really, really good today, Smalling. I mean, he's got to be one of the best centre-backs in world football at the moment. So he gets an 8. Schweinsteiger, very, very good, 7. Carrick, he did do well, and people will say he was poor. I know Carrick, and I'm a big fan of Carrick, and his positional sense is the big thing for Carrick, and he did that really well. His passing was a bit wayward, though. So Tyler Mitchell says Carrick a 5, in my opinion. I understand why, and Ramsey United saying Carrick wasn't good. I understand that, and I totally, if you want to give him a 5, that's fine. I know Michael Carrick. I understand how he plays and what he does to the team, and his positional sense was still very, very good, but his distribution wasn't great, so I'd give him a 6. Rooney, probably a 6, but I'd give him a 7 because he's definitely getting better. That needs to be encouraged. There was more tenacity in his game. He was more involved. There was more passion. Better, definitely better. So he'd get a 7. Mata, 6. Yeah, not a fantastic game from Mata. I was surprised he stayed on for as long as he did. Not rubbish, but not fantastic. We'll go to Anthony Martial next. Again, as I said, final ball, final shot, not amazing, but that he needs to improve on that. But every time he gets the ball, gets you excited. So definitely give him a 7. And Lingard, an 8. I mean, the finish is... That goal at that time is absolutely perfect for us. We needed that, and it was well guided. He didn't just blast it. It showed real technique. And if there's one thing about Lingard, it's his final ball. And as I said on the Moscow game, he's playing out on the left. Right side is better position. I'd have swapped him with Mata, because left footer, right footer, and he can put a decent ball in. It's difficult for him on the left, but Louis van Gaal likes to do this opposite foot on each side. And his final ball in Lingard's game is the problem. But that was a fantastic finish, and he did it on Tuesday night. So 8 out of 10, and I'll give him man of the match. Brilliant. And we've covered everybody there. But let's have a look at some of your comments. Great penalty from Mata, but was a 6. So he's there to do that. 6, nothing wrong with it. Josh Sharp, not the best game. I still want Rooney dropped. Who would you drop for him, though, Josh? At the end of the day, he's doing better. And Herrera does deserve to be in the starting lineup. I'll admit he does. And today we weren't playing 2 conventional forwards like we had to against Moscow. Herrera probably does deserve to be in the team. We've got Leicester next time after the international break, says Tyler Mitchell. Very interesting. Can't wait for that. We're not. All I'd say is we're not there. We're not there, but it's 3 points definitely. And we are walking up that mountain, and we've got to take that as progress, and we've got to be positive. It's not the sort of game you're going to watch back on Match of the Day and be excited about, but it's a big journey. You can't go from Crystal Palace last week and expect us to suddenly click in this week. There's still players who've got to come back into that team. There's still players in that starting 11 who've got to do a bit more, but we should be happy. It's an international break. Definitely happy with the 3 points. West Brom is always a difficult game. They defended really, really well. I remember at times in the first half, and it was like side-to-side possession football, but you look at actually what's beyond us, and it's like 10 players behind the football. It's really, really, really difficult, and I don't think they deserve to be booed at all today, and I think we got the win, but there's definitely still progress to be done. Tyler Mitchell saying we've got Watford before Leicester. I think they're both away games, so difficult and both very tight teams. We've got to look on the Boric side, says Danzy Gamer. It's 3 points. It's 3 points which we needed. I don't know where Manchester United are going to go this season. I'm not saying Louis van Gaal is off the hook by any means, and I'm not saying that Rooney's going to suddenly get back to his best. But for today, I think we've got to take the positive from it, be really pleased with the 3 points. We're going to an international break, not in a meltdown, and I'm really positive with it. Get commenting below if you're not watching live. We always reply to that. Thanks to everybody who is watching live. Some really good comments in there. Night Whisper says Lingard was a beast. Kate Lovin, feel bad for Memphis. He's got to work his way back in. He's got to work his way back in for sure, and that's the way it should be. Lingard has shown that anybody can get into this team, and he did take Rooney off, which was a positive. So he needed to be taken off. His legs had gone. So really, really pleased with that. Back tomorrow night at 9 o'clock with the United stand with the lads and the panelists. Do join us for that. We'll have an interesting chat tomorrow night about Manchester United and where we think things are going to go. And obviously we need you to do that. But half-time Devils, Smalling, best centre-back in the Premier League. I'd say he's probably the best in Europe, to be honest. Absolutely colossal. I'm running out of words for him because he was absolutely brilliant today and possibly deserved man of the match because West Brom are no slouches up front and we've totally nullified them. I said that in the week. West Brom will defend well, but they've got a lot of pace and creativity and ability up front, and we killed it dead. So really, really good. What else was going to say? If you're new to the channel, watching us, subscribe, like the video, do get commenting. It is your channel. And rating for Lou Van Gaal says Angelo Bobo. I'll give him a 6. Let's not go overboard and let's not go too negative. Give him a 6. It was okay. It's getting better, and that's what we want. And we kept another clean sheet, and we're still very, very much up near the top of the league. And we've got a great run to Christmas. Christmas is coming. The nights are drawing in. I'm going to a bonfire night tonight. Going to have a few beers, international break, and keep an eye out. Tuesday, if I knew the date off the top of my head, it's not the night, it's the 8th. Is it going to be 8th? 10th November, very big date. Keep an eye on the United stand. You're all going to be involved. Really, really good. Can't say much more, but get a little bit more tomorrow night on the show. But it is your channel. It is the United stand. Positivity. Say it how it is. That's what we want on here. And let's move on. But everyone's John Gore, sexy Frisian. Lewis Smith says Schweinsteiger 8, but I was going to say everyone's going on about Smalling. And Lingard's a positive, but Smalling's he's there. He is there. And what a year. It's about a year from Manchester City and that sending off. Some United fans were calling him CUNT, this, that, and the other. And most of us didn't. Most of us have seen what he's got in him. And I tell you what, Lingard's on his way. Give him man of the match. He deserves that. Let's encourage the lad. But Smalling, he's already there. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. Positive. Brilliant player. Killed him today. Killed him dead. Apart from that Berahino chance. But Man United stand. It is your channel. It's 3 points for Manchester United. Let's be positive. Up the Reds. And like and subscribe. And we'll see you tomorrow night at 9 o'clock with a load more of your comments.